What is up, guys? Ryan here, and I am back with another commentary video. So enjoy this Fortnite gameplay in the background. But today I'm going to do another prediction video for the NFL. And today I'm predicting every record and playoff game and Super Bowl. Just basically everything for next season is I'm going to be predicting in this video. Who goes to the playoffs and their records. But yeah. So let's get this started off with the AFC North. And as you can see in the AFC North, I have the Steelers winning the AFC North, going 12-4. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be another good year for the Steelers. Ben's not retiring, so they got Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. I just don't see why they wouldn't win the NFC. I just don't see why they wouldn't win the AFC North. So yeah, but I got the Bengals coming in second place at 9-7. I think the Bengals will do way better than they did last year. They will do awesome, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs next year. The Ravens are third place, going 7-9. The Ravens drafted Lamar Jackson, but I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to play that much this year. I think they're going to stick with Joe Flacco for this year. But yeah, Joe Flacco is almost done, honestly. If so, this is either his last year or second to last year. But I still don't think the Ravens are going to go to the playoffs or do that great. Losing in the AFC North, it's not really that much of a surprise. The Browns going 4-12. I mean, I think they're gonna get 4 wins. I think they'll beat the Ravens once, the Bengals once, the Jets. They got Baker Mayfield, they got Denzel Ward, they got Tyrod Taylor, they got so many new players. But I don't think with their schedule next year, I don't think that's going to be able to compare to their schedule. So for that, I think they're still going to do terrible this year with 4-12. And for the AFC South, I have the Texans winning the AFC South, going 13-3. I mean, Deshaun Watson did really good last year, even though he got injured. If he can stay uninjured this year, then I think he is a playoff contender along with the Texans. They got DeAndre Hopkins. I think that they can do really good. But yeah. But coming in at second place in the AFC South, I have the Titans going 12-4. See, as the Titans are getting their new uniforms, and they did what they went about 9-7 last year. So I don't see why they couldn't do better. Marcus Mariota is a very good quarterback. He's very young, too. I think that they will do great this year and make the playoffs along with the Texans. But along with them, coming in third place, the Jaguars going 10-6. See, I think the Jaguars will basically do the same thing as last year. I think the AFC South is one of the best divisions in the NFL right now. But, yeah, it's possible that the Jaguars might not go to the playoffs, but I think they will just by a game going 10-6. Yeah. But I got the Colts going 2-4. And I think they're going to do terribly. Andrew Luck is going to be back. He's going to be back, I'm pretty sure. But, they don't got a good offense. They don't got a good anything, honestly. They definitely should have kept JT Barrett. I don't know why they got rid of him. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. So, I calculated 2-14. That's probably going to be wrong. I think they'll get more than that. AFC East, I have the Patriots winning the AFC East, going 12-4. It's not that great as they did last year. But, yeah, I think the Patriots will do great. Tom Brady, I fucking hate Tom Brady, but I think Tom Brady he'll do good. Now I got the Jets going 8-8. The Jets just got Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold will deliver as a good year for him. But they're not playoff contenders for me this year. Even with Sam Darnold, I don't think they will be good enough to go to the playoffs. And then the Bills going 7-9. They got rid of Tyrod Taylor to get Josh Allen. Josh Allen was probably he's probably the worst out of the main 5 QBs, in my opinion, but he got drafted 3rd out of the main 5 QBs in the draft. I don't know how that happened. They should have picked Josh Rosen, and for that, I don't think they'll do good. And the Dolphins doing terrible at 2-14. See, Ryan Tannehill's not that good, in my opinion. He's not great. He made the playoffs in 2016, but he got injured, so they lost that game. But they got rid of Jarvis Landry. They really have nobody. They don't have a single person now. And now the final division in AFC. I got the West. I have the Raiders going 11-5, and I think they will win the West and go to the playoffs. But yeah, they got Jordy Nelson, they have Derek Carr, they have 3 good wide receivers, they got Marshawn Lynch and another running back I can't think of, but I think they are playoff contenders this year, especially since Alex Smith is no longer on the Chiefs. And speaking of the Chiefs, I have them going 7-9. I don't think their backup QB is going to be doing good this year, honestly. They probably should have kept Alex Smith. Alright, and I got the Chargers going 3-13. And the Broncos going 2-14. I think those 2 teams will do terrible next year. Phillip Rivers is getting old. Broncos don't have a fucking quarterback. They didn't draft a QB. They're probably the team that needed a QB the most, and they didn't even draft one. They have Case Keenum, but I think he just got lucky because Aaron Rodgers got injured. So I don't think Case Keenum's going to bring anything to the table for the Broncos. And that's what I have for the AFC. The NFC North, and I have the Packers winning, going 13-3. And I think Aaron Rodgers will do great. I think the team will do great. We got 3 new wide receivers. I mean, we got some good defensive players in the draft. I think we're definitely able to win the North. In second place, I have the Vikings going 10-6. The Vikings got Kirk Cousins as their QB now, and I think he will do all right. But I don't think the Vikings will make the playoffs next year. And I have the Lions going 6-9. Lions never have really been doing good, so I don't really think that's going to change this year. That's just me. And I have the Bears being calculated 2-14. I have a lot of teams going 2-14 in my prediction. For the NFC South, I have the Saints winning, going 13-3. I think they will lose a couple games, but I think they will do great. They will go to the playoffs. Drew Brees has a couple more years. They have JT Barrett, which is I don't know. We'll have to see how he plays. Falcons going 10-6. So I could definitely see this, since they went didn't they go 10-6 this year as well? So I say they'll do the same thing. And I have the Panthers going 8-8. I think last year was just luck by schedule. Their schedule is much harder this year. Last year they had an easy schedule. I think they will not do good. And then I have the Buccaneers going 1-15, which is the worst record I have in my prediction. I don't think Jameis Winston's really doing it for them, honestly. They really should have gotten a QB in the draft or in free agency, but they failed to do that. For the NFC East, I have the Eagles going 14-2. The only reason the Eagles went 13-3 last year is because Carson Wentz got injured. So if Carson Wentz didn't get injured, they would have probably went 15-1 maybe. They still won the Super Bowl with their backup QB, and Nick Foles isn't going anywhere. So if Carson Wentz gets injured, they're still set. So for that, I'll say they go 14-2. And coming up behind them, I have the Giants going 9-7. Say they drafted a good running back, Saquon Barkley. Eli Manning, I think he'll be back at it this year. They got a backup QB, so I don't see why they wouldn't do good. Odell Beckham's back. And then I have the Cowboys going 6-10. Yeah, that's really bad. Honestly, they're not making the playoffs again. And then I got the Redskins going 4-12. Yeah, Redskins with Alex Smith. No, that was a terrible trade. And for the NFC West, I have the Rams winning with going 13-3, and I have the 49ers going 13-3. I don't know how it's gonna go. I had the Rams on top just by like standing record, but Jared Goff is a great QB. Jimmy Garoppolo is an amazing quarterback. He hasn't even lost a game for the 49ers yet. And then I have the Seahawks going 8-8. They'll just miss the playoffs, honestly. Like, Seahawks are dead. They had those 2 lucky years that they went to the Super Bowl, and years after that, when they went to the playoffs, they lost like first or second round. Yeah, they're not gonna make it this year. And the final record I have to say is the Cardinals going 7-9. I really don't like this because Josh Rosen is going to be my favorite rookie this year. The Cardinals right now are Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, and Josh Rosen. I don't think that's going to cut it. They're going to need a better defense and some offensive linemen. And now I'm going to get into the playoffs. And I will start out with the AFC. Wild card games, I have the Patriots versus the Jaguars. And I have the Patriots winning. I think the Patriots will probably beat their ass. And then for the other game, I have the Titans versus the Raiders, and the Raiders will win without a doubt. And then the divisional for the AFC, I have the Texans versus the Patriots, and Texans will win. The Texans almost beat the Patriots last year in regular season, so if they were to face each other again, I think Texans will win. So I have the Steelers versus the Raiders. So for the Raiders, I think they will win. They got Martavis Bryant, so that's kind of like a payback type thing for getting rid of him. But yeah, I think the Raiders will be awesome next year. And for the AFC Championship, I think it'll be the Texans versus the Raiders, and the Texans will go to the Super Bowl. And for the NFC, starting out with the wild card, I have the Saints versus the Falcons, and like mostly any game, I have the Saints beating them, obviously. I have the Rams versus the 49ers, and I think the Rams will win. I think they have a better team, in my opinion. So for the NFC divisional round, I have the Eagles versus the Saints. This is a close game. And for this, I'm going to say the Saints. I think it can go either way, but I'm just going to 50-50 it and say the Saints. Screw it. And for the other divisional game, I have the Packers and the Rams. Packers are going to win this. And for the NFC Championship, Packers versus Saints. Ryan versus Anthony. Well, guess what? Packers are going to win. The Super Bowl will be the Houston Texans versus the Green Bay Packers. That is my prediction for the Super Bowl next year. And if you guys enjoyed this video and agreed with my predictions for next year, and if I had your favorite team doing really bad, well, that sucks. So, yeah. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and later.